Hey guys, it's Alon. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys a couple more updates I recently made to the Farlands project. Specifically, I'm actually going to be showing you guys the northwestern and northeastern one. So starting off, I got the northwestern one, which is in my map, which are based off the seed -34447588597786381, which is actually the seed on my beta 1.202 long limit mod investigation world. I made quite a few videos on a while back. So you might want to try that out for yourself. I'm putting that seed on beta 1.7.3 and exploring the farmlands to see how close it is. Or just taking a look at my earlier video entitled, on the beta 1.228 Aether mod. So here's the lower layer of the part of the lower layer of the corner farmlands that I built so far. Actually, you've seen the normal structure in that seed in the lower part of the corner farmland, the regular corner farmlands. This will actually be a snowy taiga biome over here when I go this area. There. And now let's head to till then negative 1330. This should put us right at the beginning of the of my recreation of the Farber lands. They're actually pretty interesting on that seed with the high layer and the low layer, and how a line eventually appears in this tunnel here, in this sort of tunnel here, like section here. And let's keep going. Eventually, you guys will see the line there. But now let's head over in the other direction along the z-axis. If you remember, in my last Farlands investigation video, I actually teleported to the Farlands boundary and the x-axis in that world, and 50 billion blocks in the z, and in a couple moments here, let's see how closely I recreated that. Here is once again my recreation of the point at about 1.028 billion on the z-axis and that seed at the Farlands boundary on the x-axis, where the high layer ends in a diagonal line that cuts right through the tops of the edge Farlands as well. I haven't populated this side edge Farlands area, this side Farlands area here yet. I have put the low layer here in the corner Farlands. I'll actually have a jungle biome right here. And then eventually the low layer actually eventually gets so low that it generates all beaches and can actually crash the game if there's a thin layer above in a desert biome. And at 6.12 billion on the z-axis, at 1.04 billion x, the high layer reappears, and I sort of recreated that here. And now we get to the point where the low layer finally disappears, just somewhere around 10 billion on the z. Yeah. So here's my recreation of the final state of the Farlands along 1.04 billion in the x, and traveling along the z-axis on the seed on my beta 1.202 Aether world. Actually, that includes plus again. And now let's head over to tilde negative 10,000. You can see the terrain I built here is exactly the same, pretty much. Now, if you keep heading off in this direction, you'll eventually see how I built the lower high layer degrading at about Z of 3.9, about Z of 3.92 times 10 to the 39, which goes into these pillars. I actually tried that with my beta 1.7.3 Fringelands mod of the seed. Yeah, it's turning right here. No, it's turning right here, so it's too bad. There. Huh. You can see here I'm starting how I'm working on the edge fartherland and the degrading as well. Axis degrading as well. And now it's lastly, piece for the northwestern corner farmlands, let's head over to the corner fringelands. So when I tried it with my beta 1.7.3 Fringelands mod on this seed, setting both the multipliers to a sextillion, the biome Illinois corner farmlands had actually changed to the all-stone variation, in which 1 block thick, 1 block high artifacts, including the sky grid and 1 block thick layers like here, would not generate. So what I did was again, beta 1.202, it was clearly the all-dirt variant, which would generate these artifacts. So what I did was yesterday I went back into MCP and just multiplied the values equivalent to coordinate scale by a sextillion and teleported myself using NBT editing to about where the corner fringelands would be expected to spawn, and found that the high layer actually goes into a 1 block thick layer that will dissipate later. And if he's wondering why there's still sky grid of the high layer out here, that's because I built this before I found that out actually here. Yet the low layer will go into sky grid. There. Now let's head to 12,550. There. Negative 12,000. So let's head to the northeastern. So I have done more work on these since making the last video. And I'm making these into a Java-based corner farmland. But now let's head over to negative 13,081 and negative 13,080. There. This should put us around the fartherlands in the northeast. And note that I've only built one of the edge sections thus far. If we travel on, you'll see that eventually you guys will see that the diagonal line cutting through the artifact here is similar to the one in the northwest. Note that over here I haven't populated the corner farmlands section yet. Yeah, let's keep traveling along here. Eventually we will get to it. And by the way, I actually will upgrade my map to 1.18 very soon, because now Amulet is updated, the world editor that I'm using is updated as well. So now you guys will see the diagonal line. I haven't even finished carving it out. So I'll do it right now. There. So you guys will see that I have made a diagonal line in which the artifacts in the top. And there's the high artifacts just stop. And over here is the corner fartherland ocean. I'm not sure if this is how it actually looked, or if this is, but this is actually what I had in my head when I first read the Antonio MC's comment. The biofilm farland will actually be over there. Yeah. And you can see that I have built a bit of a coral reef biome and a lukewarm motion biome in the ocean section. I also have iceberg biomes and other stuff. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for today. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell, and click on all for all notifications. And goodbye.